I'm James Kahl. Here at Weewar. We've actually been here farming here at Base Properties Glencoe, and we've been here since 1961, which is the beginning of the cotton industry. So my dad was Paul, and his partner Frank Hadley were the first two to come to develop the modern cotton industry in Australia. So we've been here for 65 years, not just 30 of BT. So the introduction of BT cotton was in the mid 1990s, which incidentally is about halfway through the history of the cotton industry in Australia. So it was 30 years leading to that, and 30 years since then. It was actually was a game changer. Now that's a cliche, but it's true. The whole industry was really in need of change. It was getting way too expensive and too damaging environmentally. There was a lot of issues starting to develop in the 90s, and the BT cotton progressively over a number of years while we progressed the technology addressed the major issues of cost, of social, of impact on the local community, and just the environment in general. There was a whole lot of issues in there that it just turned around for us. And it didn't do it in a day, because it took a little bit of confidence to actually rely on the technology, and that wasn't forthcoming immediately, and it took a few years before people got comfortable that they could actually trust the technology. So it really did turn the industry in a different direction. And if it hadn't have done, I'm not confident that there would have been an industry left here, because the cost spiral, particularly of insect control, was out of control. The last 2 years of growing cotton prior to the introduction of the first BT cotton was probably conducted largely on the back of a belief that it was true that there was something coming that was going to resolve the insect pressure issue. The situation had got to the point where we were commonly growers were spraying well in excess of 20 times and up to 30 times in a crop. In a crop season, it's only a matter of a few months. So there was sprays going on to the same field, the same crop, twice a week, and we weren't getting anywhere. The products were starting to fail because of overuse, and but there was no alternative, so you overused them, and they were becoming quite ineffective by the time BT arrived. So the impact of BT cotton was actually ticked all the three major boxes: environment, social, and economic. All three of them got a big boost out of the introduction of BT. There was a cost to the technology. There still is. You pay a fee to buy the technology to put into the seed that you're buying from CSD. So there's still a cost, but it's significantly less than what it was costing to spray that many times. The social aspect is simple enough. Farmers could actually sleep at night. They could actually take a weekend off. They were only going back to spraying once or twice a year, and in some cases, in our case, often we go through a whole year without applying a single insecticide for Heliothis. And then so the workload, the day-to-day activity of managing all that just was reduced. And there's a big sigh of relief going. So what we're doing is celebrating 30 years of biotechnology, and basically that's insect control in a genetic form in the cotton plant. It's been integrated into that plant, and it's continuously being upgraded and developed with new genes in that combination. Every time there's a new family of varieties released, it comes with a new technology, and the two are coordinated. So CSD is absolutely pivotal in this, because if it wasn't for the contractual arrangement they have with Cotton Breeding Australia, with CSIRO, to gain their impact on the distribution of that germplasm around the world, which is their job, in return for the biotech that we're getting from the multinationals that supply it, because that's their job, and the combination of those two is just working really, really well. It's quite amazing. You've got multinationals working with a tiny little seed company in Australia, and they treat each other as equals. It's great, and it just doesn't look like it's going to fall out. It's rock solid, and it's been there for nearly 30 years, and it's just stood the test of time with the continuous development of that technology, and it will keep going. The thing about CSD and the management of its strategies is that largely what you're doing is developing a strategy that's not even going to deliver a product for another 15 years. And that's pretty fun. So what we're seeing now is stuff that was developed and agreed to by those parties to tick off and invest in 12, 15 years ago. And so it's not going to end anytime soon, because that transition and transactions and those activities are just ongoing. So that's the future. It looks pretty good.